So this is not something we're going to see every day. It's January 26th. It's 70 degrees out here. And the fog is still here because underneath that fog is still frozen water. It's still iced up. You can see it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but about 50 yards from shore, there's still ice in here. Meanwhile, he's panting because it's 70 degrees. It's not supposed to be 70 degrees in January. Exactly. It's supposed to be frozen over in January. This is crazy. The water's so cold, he won't even get in. I mean, the water is just like barely above freezing, but it's 70 degrees outside. Craziest thing I ever seen.
We're hanging overtime! We're hanging overtime! We're hanging overtime!
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Alright, Panther fans, so we got the Penguins tonight, Islanders tomorrow night, back-to-back, so Bubba gets his pregame pets. Bubba's going to go tonight. Assumption is Stolarz goes tomorrow. And tomorrow's going to be very, very interesting because that's when Lockwood comes off of the suspension. And so hopefully Sam Miskevich gets to keep his spot. Now, I'm listening to Kyle read out the lines. I guess tonight supposedly the third line is Lundell, Luostarinen, and Reinhart. Interesting. You got Barkov back up top. Sam Miskevich is going to need to get himself a goal to be able to stay because you can just, I can smell it. I can smell Paul Maurice looking for any excuse to send that kid down. Cousins is done with the concussion protocol. Maurice says it's just a matter of conditioning before he gets back into the lineup. So between Lockwood, Cousins, that's two reasons that Maurice might give us to send that kid down. So I'm not going to rant yet. You know what I mean? I'm bitching about it. The hope is to bitch about it enough, good things happen. So that remains to be seen. What do we need to see the rest of tonight? Man, just number one, Ekblad, dude, come on. Stay out of the box, okay? All right? I've been praising you, all right? Maybe that's a problem. Do I need to go back to bitching and complaining about you? I'd really prefer not to, okay? So, please, no stupid penalties. I know the refs are kind of looking at you for whatever reason. They got a hard-on for them right now, but also doesn't need to, you know, if you knock the guy down in front of the net, you did your job, but don't knock him down a second time in front of the ref, all right? And watch your stick. They're going to call you for everything right now. Get in, get out, get the 2 points, get on with tomorrow night, okay? I'm not saying the Penguins are an easy team. They're obviously not going to be an easy team. They are in, I wouldn't say they're in desperate, dire straits. They're not quite where we were this time last year, but they're not in the playoff spot either. And, you know, when they got Dubas there and they spent the money on Riley Smith and they got Carlson and they got Achari, they thought they was doing something to maybe do something. And I don't know what they thought they were doing, but whatever they thought they were doing, they ain't doing it. It ain't getting done. So we need to get big fat 2 points tonight. Other than that, like I said, let's get Sam Miskevich a goal. All right, who else? Let's let Lundell just keep on trucking that way. Maybe let's get Ekblad a goal, right? That's the trifecta I'm looking for tonight. Sam Miskevich, Lundell, Ekblad. Get Ekblad a goal. Maybe he'll settle down and stop trying to take too many penalties. All right, Panthers, give me 2. All right, so tied at 1 after 1. Not a bad period of hockey. Erod gets a power play goal of all people of all times. Nobody expected that. How can I put this? I'm not I always end up with the dog hair on the brim of my hat somehow. And then I get in here and the studio light shines on it and I can see it. I don't like how we're playing. Let's just put it that way. We're not that bad, but defensively it's very disorganized, very much like they're already on. I'm going to get it this time. I didn't get it. Oh, this is so annoying. Maybe it's one of my own eyelashes. I can't tell. They're not playing well on defense. It's very disorganized. Pittsburgh's getting a lot of chances. Bob has made some saves. They've missed the net. It's getting really, really chippy. Pittsburgh, for some reason, seems intent on starting physical altercations. And it seems as though the Panthers just kind of came into the game and be like, oh, we got to play. Oh, geez, I thought that was tomorrow night. Yeah, guys, it's 2 nights in a row you're going to have to play. So I get that maybe they're trying to, you know, conserve some energy. But I think there's a pipe that runs from my furnace and goes that way and then into the drop ceiling. And I'm 99% sure while I'm talking here, a mouse just ran across the pipe and into the drop ceiling. If I had $100 to bet right now, I would not bet on the Panthers to get 2 points because the defense looks like ass. Pittsburgh's trying to drag us into fights, which we're not taking the bait. So it means eventually we're going to have to either get physical, expend some energy to win this game, or Pittsburgh's going to beat us 6-2. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So it's 2-1 Panthers after 2. And look, I'm not a big complaint about the ref guy. And I'm not even necessarily saying that it's been one-sided. It has just been stupid-sided. The refs need to let these players just get it done and over with and fight. The Penguins are running around taking cheap shots at the Panthers. They almost knocked Barkov out of the game. They just put him in the transmogrifying clone machine and he came back. And they're taking liberties with the Panthers players after the whistle. And then, of course, we're retaliating. The refs are calling the penalties against us. But every time we get a guy that's ready to drop the gloves and take some action, the refs are bear-hugging the Panthers and dragging them away. Now, at some point, that's going to come back to bite Penguins in the ass. We're winning this game. We didn't really want to have a physical game. We didn't show up ready to really have a desiring. We didn't want to do this. We got to play tomorrow night. So the only beneficiary of the Penguins making us have to expend this energy might be the Islanders. But for tonight, you probably picked a fight with the wrong team, you old dirty bastards. Let's move on to the third period and finish this off.
We are going to overtime! Oh, we are going to the shootout, and it is my favorite part of the game!
1, 2, 3, and 2 points! And you know what? You know what? Even though they got 1 power play goal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 penalties, 1 measly power play goal. They end up tying the game with 40-something seconds left when they had the empty net. Reinhart had just missed the empty net by about a foot. And Bubba makes a great save, and he's on his back when the puck goes back into the back of the net. Pittsburgh gets a point, no big deal. There was a Pittsburgh fan that came on the chat because we live stream the games. They came on the chat pregame. This is my fault. This is my bad. Pittsburgh fan came on the chat pregame, said, "Hey guys, I love the content, but can you do me a favor? Pittsburgh really needs to win this game." And my dumb ass said, "You know what? Let's take it to overtime. It doesn't hurt us if we give Pittsburgh a point." So that's on the pregame on the live stream. That's my bad. That's me. That's my bad. And it didn't hurt us, right? We get the 2. Let them have the 1. Let them have their hope. They ain't going to make the playoffs. So let them, let that, the agony of defeat drag out a little bit longer. Sam Reinhart wins it in overtime after shootout after Barkov gets a goal. Bubba made all the saves that we needed him to make. Stopped Crosby, let the last one in there, kind of thought he had it in his glove, and he's getting ready to celebrate, and the puck is in the ethers behind his head. Doesn't matter. We get the win 3-2. And it didn't start off, look, I'm telling you, all right, for you Pittsburgh fans, if you're watching this, the first period, I'm telling you, I can guarantee you, Panthers did not come out wanting this to be a physical, rough, tough type of game, right? Pittsburgh is the one that kind of brought that element. We got to play tomorrow night. These guys have been coasting into the All-Star break. We're safely and securely in second place. We've been playing at about 70%, maybe 75% effort for weeks now. Okay, I know we're winning games, but trust me, we ain't at full speed. And so Pittsburgh starts, you know, obviously wanted to play a different type of game. And once we got the wheels running, we're like, okay, I guess this is the kind of game it's going to be, with the exception of the fact that what pisses me off, and this isn't specific to Pittsburgh, this doesn't matter who it is, if the teams want to fight and be physical, refs, why do you intercede? Why do you intervene? Let them fight. If they let them get it done and over with, and then they move on. Okay? It's just I don't understand why the referees will go so far out of their way to bear hug any of the players to keep them from fighting. It doesn't make any sense. Especially if you're already going to be calling penalties. It just doesn't make any sense. Because that irritates me. We won this game. We got 2 points. I still personally, right now, would like to kick Letang's ass. Okay? Not likely to happen. But the point is as a fan, we still feel like it's like, Islanders, dude, nothing personal. Okay? But Panthers might take tonight out on you tomorrow night if we have any legs back in the bank, which I suspect that we will. All right, top to bottom, the Lundell, Lusterine, and Reinhart line. What's the top line anymore? I don't know what the top lines are anyway. It doesn't matter. The Bennett Kachuk line is doing good. The Lundell, Lusterine line is doing good. Barkov with Samoskevich and Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets a goal, right? So, I mean... please, Coach, please, Paul, leave it this way. I know Mackey hasn't had a goal. He's played all of 2 games. Have you not seen some of those passes? Forget the goals. I know you guys are watching these last 2 games, Panther fans. I'm not saying it, but we all know whose those passes look like. That's all I'm going to say, okay? He's a facilitator. He probably can score too, okay? But he can make some passes, and on this team, it's a very welcomed element. Let's just put it that way. So, just leave that alone. Now tomorrow, Lockwood's suspension is over. I'm not saying Gadjevich played a bad game. He played fine. But maybe since we played the extra frame tonight and we play tomorrow night, maybe you take Gadjevich out, put Lockwood in, just to have a little bit of extra pep, a little bit of extra fresh legs there. In fact, you might see that defensively. You might see Kulikov off, Mahura in. Or how about Balinskis? I'd rather see Balinskis get in, right, than Mahura, to be honest with you. Just to have a little bit of fresh legs on the ice, because it was a long game, obviously. And the penalty killing, I mean, it's just like eight of them. And 2 of them, at least 2, were the doubles, right? So you're out there for 4 minutes. We killed both of those completely off. That taxes you. You know, that's taxing on these guys, right? That takes a lot of energy. It's different than killing 2 and 2 and 2, and you get breaks in between. You can go to the bench and take a rest. Killing 4 off it takes some time. Killing 4 off twice. So 44, 45 seconds, whatever it is, Pittsburgh gets the game tied. And I was a little bit nervous. Overtime, Brandon Montour. I don't have anything Brandon Montour up here to smack around. Well, first off, Bubba, good game, Bubba. We love you, Bubba. We love you, Bubba. For you Penguins fans, that's Bubba Brewski. That's Bob. That's Bubba. Bubba Brewski. Now, Brandon Montour needs an exorcism. The dude had the game on his stick at least 3 times. And now the last time, I think that was in overtime when it looked like he really missed the net. The puck got deflected as he shot it. So whoever the defenseman was, or whoever the player was for Pittsburgh, it was a good play by them. Look, Pittsburgh's desperate. Pittsburgh's desperate. And Panthers, we're going to see this. We're going to see this the second half of the season, okay? We're going to come out in the first period, and it's the other teams are chasing now. And we're safely and secure in second place. So you're going to see a lot of first periods where basically the body language of our guys is going to be like, oh, come on, like this again? We got to play rough and physical, and we're just clocking in and clocking out. We're ready to go to the playoffs. You're going to see more games like this as we play teams that are desperate for points. And Bubba is the equalizer. We'll just put it that way. Considering all of the power plays at Pittsburgh, how desperate they were, and how lackadaisical and kind of quasi-disinterested we were in the first period. The fact that we got the 2 points out of that, if I'm a Penguins fan right now, I'm kind of pissed off. I mean, that's 8 power plays, and you get 1 goal out of 8 power plays. To the flip side, if I'm a Penguins fan right now, I'm pretty perturbed. You know what I mean? I know where I would be right now if we had 8 power plays. I would be smoking. All right, and the end of the recap would be about 45 minutes long, and you guys would see the notification, and you would see 56:18 is the time, and you'd be like, ooh, grab the popcorn. If we had 8 power plays and only got 1 goal out of it. All right, that's good. That's 3. You finish it off tomorrow. What did I say? What did I say after we lost the 4 in a row, huh? I came on here and I said, win the last 4, and we're 13-2-2. In the last 17. All right, we got 1 more to go. It's the Islanders. I'm not taking anything for granted, but the Islanders' defense kind of sucks. Okay, let's just call it what it is. All right, that is a game we should win. I know it's the second of a back-to-back. You put Lockwood in, you put Belinskas in, get a little bit. Let Samoskevich play 25 minutes tomorrow. Huh? Let the kids, let them take. We got this. You win the 4 in a row at the end to the All-Star break, and then you go in hot and heavy with second place, and leave it at second. I ain't worried about Boston. Let Boston go. Let Boston play one of the other team. I don't care. Well, it's either going to look. No matter what, it's going to either be Toronto, Tampa, maybe Detroit. Whether we're first or second, right? So there's no sense in busting our balls trying to get the first place. We're fine. Stolarz, we should see tomorrow night. He's got to earn his check tomorrow, because I'm sure we're by the third period going to be a little bit gassed. I wouldn't want to try to be holding on to a 1-goal lead tomorrow night. So there's that. All right, the review, as I do after every game, will be at noon tomorrow, and then obviously the game is tomorrow night. Cal and I will be live 1/2 hour before the game, and then Sunday morning at noon. It's not really morning. It's not day. It's not afternoon. It's a thing. It's noon. I don't know, is noon morning or is noon afternoon? You can't call noon afternoon, right? So on the street, we can't figure out what to call it. I just been calling it good day, but then that's goodbye. So it's kind of hard. I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. Yeah, noon.